Yeah. This is the Head of the Bed podcast. I'm ill, and before I hit the gym, I gotta make this a quick one because I couldn't wait till Friday to express my innumerable feelings about the new casting of Birds of Prey. Now, I'm a card-carrying member of the Geek Squad, and as so, I'm about to share why some of these are good castings, bad castings, and break down all your racist, asinine comments all at the same time in 10 minutes or less. Shout out to Journey Smollett and Mary Elizabeth for getting their new roles as Black Canary and Huntress. But let's break down Journey as Black Canary. Journey has been showing y'all since Eve's Bayou when she was a kid that she in her bag when it comes to that lights, camera, action life. She is great with emotion, proven by her role in Temptation, and she can act her curls off, proven by Underground. And along with that, her character, Rosalie, it's been a while, I think it's Rosalie is how you pronounce it, had enough good action scenes to make me a believer. But let's get to why some of y'all are mad. But before we get to that, I know nothing about Elizabeth, so I can't give y'all shit on if she was a good fit as Huntress or not. But I am going to check her IMDb and see what she gives on screen, because looks can be deceiving. And speaking of looks, y'all trying to hide bigoted comments and racist antics under Journey having black hair. It's really laughable at best. Hollywood got millions of blonde wigs, okay? Y'all don't think she gonna get one. All them blonde wigs Hollywood has. Y'all don't think they're gonna find a specific wig for her Black Canary look. How about this? How about the fact that she's black playing a Caucasian character? Because that's why y'all mad. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I mean, majority of the time she's white. Because guess what, folks? This is for my nerds who know there's a multiverse of different races, genders, creatures on different Earths in the multiverse. On Earth 1098, the siren herself, Black Canary, is a black woman. If you don't believe me, here's the proof. Now, as you see, this is a black woman and this is Black Canary. Proven right here. And even if she never was, she's a fictional character who doesn't have ties to a traditional type of heritage. Like, say, Vixen, who can only ever be African because her whole lineage, her storyline is all about African culture. Same as the incredible Icon. And if you don't know who he is, look him up. He's an alien who landed on a plantation, who can shapeshift and made himself look like one of the slaves, the woman who found him, because she was the first person he saw when he landed on Earth. I'm not joking. He's super powerful. Google him. And last I checked, it's not many African white women in Hollywood other than Charlize Theron. And if you don't believe me with that, here's some bed and breakfast receipts just for you. Now, as you see, it says Charlize Theron is South African. So for those who think that I'm making shit up, there you go. Now, with all that being said, let Journey's acting do its job. And if you don't like her as an actress, that's fine. We all have opinions, and it does not make you a hater because you have a different opinion than what the majority of people have. But if you don't like her because she's black, or, and let's not forget this, she's also Jewish, Polish, Russian, and African. Yeah, she's all that. You could bitch from the sideline where Kaepernick took his knee and be perpetually in a state of your own stupidity because they did the exact same thing with Candace Patton for her role as Iris West on The Flash. And while we're on the subject, the same goes with those who's been attacking Anna Dibb for acquiring a role she auditioned for and was skillful enough to bring Titans to life as Starfire. Now, I will say I felt some type of way when I first heard the news because all I know of Anna is her role in The Messengers. And if you know The Messengers, the show to me was a good show, but it didn't go past one season. So I guess it wasn't many people watching. But just because it isn't a majority of people watching a show does not mean the show wasn't good. It just means the show wasn't good to those people who wasn't watching. And when I think of Starfire, Anna is the last. Matter of fact, not last. She's not even on the list of people I'd have in mind to cast. But it has nothing to do with her skin. But because Starfire's personality, her style, her sensuality, her sexuality, if you really want to get to it, none of that exudes from Anna to me. But guess what? That's why it's called acting. They saw something in her that you and I may not. And as far as race, there are no Tamaranians. Let's be real. There are no Tamaranians walking around in Hollywood unless you wanted a spray-painted cosplayer. Okay? But I hope she does great. Oh, also stop attacking her and the rest of the team for these tragic-ass outfits on Titans. These people show up, they hit marks, and read scripts. Blame the wardrobe department over at DC Comics for these horrible outfits. Which also, here's some more bed and breakfast receipts for you. It was an official notice issued stating that towards the end of the season, they will all have more comic book accurate costumes. And even if the new costumes suck, still don't blame them. Blame DC Wardrobe Department. And that's really all I got to say about that. And while we're on the subject of black characters, of whatever race of characters actually becoming a different race than what majority of the world knows them as, let's move on to Michael B. Jordan as Superman. First, I got to say that I'm a huge, anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge, gigantic Superman fan. Shirts, hats, shoes, all types of paraphernalia. Like, I am a gigantic Superman fan. I have the tattoo. Super fan. And I got to say that it is a no from me. Ever. The fact that you even thought of Michael B. Jordan playing Superman is the most laughable shit I've ever heard in my life. And really and honestly, it's just because of the success of Black Panther. Let's be real. You saw how a black character was supremely bankable. And now you want to start just grabbing black actors to play all these huge big characters. But let me tell you something. You cannot simply put a black person in a role and think it's going to be a success. There are great black actors, and there are a lot of black actors that when I see certain movies they're in, I wonder, how did you make it? And that's me being real. Now, to the black Superman thing, yes, on another Earth, there was a black Superman known as Val-Zod. And yes, Michael played a great Killmonger in Black Panther. He was cool. Which, side note, I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but there are no such things actually as Black Panthers. I just found this out the other day. Watched some Animal Planet type stuff, and I found out that they are just jaguars with melanin. Don't believe me? Seriously, look it up. But anyway, Michael would be a horrible Superman because he proved it in the Fantastic Four as Human Torch, which he bombed in. Just my opinion. And once again, he's a good actor in certain movies, but huge comic book characters he is not. Creed was good. I don't consider Killmonger to be a gigantic, huge character, but he was good as Killmonger. And also, he is entirely too skinny to play a Superman. Maybe Red Sun before the muscle, and if you know the Red Sun Superman comics, you understand why I said that. Now, for those who are thinking, oh, he can work out and have the Tom Welling, Henry Cavill type of stature, he could never. Because we all gain or lose weight, yes. But we all have certain structured bodies that can't change. He would literally have to get fat to have some mass and turn that into Phil Heath type of muscle. Eddie Hall would make a better Superman than Michael. And he'd even act. But stop making it about his race. I don't mind white characters being black characters being Asian, and so on and so forth, because they aren't real. The only time a character's race should never be changed is if it ties into their storyline or, most importantly, their heritage. Their heritage. If it is in their heritage, it should never change. And I put emphasis on it because Hollywood has changed certain movies in the past, and we all know them. Certain movies with Egyptian themes and shows and that and all that of that nature. We know where the lineage goes back to, and that's all I'm going to say. Dora the Explorer has a Latin story. Therefore, it should continue to be a Latin story. And a Latin person playing her, or someone who looks Latin enough to play the role. Vixen has an African story. Wonder Woman can be any race. Aqualad, for that matter, could be any race. Same as any Green Lanterns from the Lantern Corps. So before I go, because I think I went over 10 minutes. Maybe not. But this is some free advice. Worry about the story and less about the skin. This is Michael Eric Dyson, a.k.a. If you know Michael Eric Dyson, then you know why that was funny. And if you don't, in the words of YouTube Prince, Google is your friend. And with all that, I want y'all to live your own life, love each other, have great sex without going broke. Later, bedheads.
I'm a purist, so if I were casting the movie, I would have kept it faithful to the comics and kept her like as a blonde lady, or a white lady with dark hair who dyed it blonde, or, had a blonde wig.
Shut the fuck up.